I'm so excited to talk to you again because the last time we talked was right before RHONY came out. Now it's been a whole season.
Do you see all the gray hairs I'm hiding with hair mascara?
Oh my goodness. Well, now that it's been a whole season, we have one episode left.
Yeah.
You know, looking back, how would you rate your experience?
I think that my experience as it was happening felt very different than what I saw. And I go, okay, what could I have done different? Because I think, you know, most of the season it shows me being quiet even though I wasn't. And so I'm like, how could I have done that differently? How could I have appeared even more active than I thought that I was?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know that there's an answer to it. But I think I would have just probably been more forthright in some things. And opinions stated more firmly the minute I found out about them than being someone to respond to it, you know, later down the line.
Brynn spent a lot of the season making digs at you and your business. I know she kind of made a dig at Uba and her modeling career. Why do you think she always goes for the career?
Rebecca Minkoff. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. If you were just at Nordstrom Rack, you probably saw her stuff.
Where's Rebecca?
She has a accessory award.
I didn't know Nordstrom Rack is an award.
That was low.
Man, I'd like to know how things work up there for her. But I felt like she was trying to get a rise out of people to create the conflict that an entertainment that people want. And I think with me, like, I'm not falling for that petty stuff. You know, I've had real crazy stuff happen in my business. You think you're gonna get a rise out of me because you make fun of me? Like, come visit one of my 3 homes and then we can talk. You know, so I think, and then with Uba, again, it was let's get a rise out of her because she knows if she gets Uba to like react, it's good for TV, but no one wants to see that produced effect. Right. They just want to see us being real with each other. Right. And I think that's where you can lose people.
Well, I do want to ask about that whole pregnancy prank that you and Erin pulled, because a lot of fans were not thrilled with the whole idea of the prank. You know, what's your response to those critics?
I heard she's a freak in the sheets.
What?
Her and Gavin, yeah.
Good for her.
Getting around town, they have fun with other people and stuff, regardless of the consequences.
Like, what kind of consequences?
The biggest kind.
What?
I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm glad you asked. So when we sat there, but again, I said maybe we should do this. She agreed, so we both were all in on the idea. I thought in my non-production oriented mind that the audience would be let in on it and they'd be brought along for the journey. So it wasn't a prank. It was really, I even hate that it was called that. It was to find the liar. It was to find the pot stirrer. I knew who it was, but it seemed like no one else could see the writing on the wall. And so I was like, let's make sure that everyone knows who's doing this. And then it backfired because the audience wasn't brought along and they were tricked.
Right.
But I think if it had been done that way, then no one would have been upset. They would have been like, yeah, we see it too. Now we need all 6 of the other girls to kind of wake up.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
And I think in hindsight, I did offend some women who, you know, are having infertility issues. And as someone that has suffered, you know, from it myself, probably a bad subject matter. I was just trying to find something that was somewhat believable at the time that, like, the pot stirrer would run with.
Right, something juicy and crazy enough that they would take.
And we chose, you know, my husband's, you know, we have an open relationship and I'm pregnant and we don't know who the father is. That seemed so beyond crazy that it would be unbelievable.
Yes. Well, going forward, do you see yourself wanting to come back for another season?
I mean, I'm having a lot of deep conversations now. There are family members involved, and so we'll just see.